Alright, so I have tried my hardest to get this thing to start. So yeah, I'm starting to get a blister right here from the attempt to start this. It's not going to start. So here's our carburetor. I'm going to take these two bolts out, star bolts. Start there, pull this baby off and see if we can't get it unclogged, I'm presuming. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Alright. Okay, so these guys loosened, right? These two screws. Pull this whole piece off. Put that on the side there. Now we're looking at a lot of oil, a little bit of dirt on the outside. This should just, yep, there you go, pop right off. Now, as you can see, we have kind of a lot of dirt just built up on the outside of this. Knowingly, this thing doesn't have a filter going in there. The amount of junk on top of here, you can see, that's gonna probably be your issue. Now, when we take this apart, this gasket is gonna want to follow. It's gonna want to come off, especially if you're gonna hit it with like brake cleaner or carb cleaner. It's gonna want to come off, so you're gonna be careful about that. What I'm gonna do now is hopefully set this down right here, and then I'll go ahead and, struggle is real. Okay, hopefully that stays there. You guys can see kind of what I'm doing. I'm gonna pull these hoses off if I can get them off. Maybe I can't, which it's a good thing that they're sealed, so maybe I won't take that off. And what I'm gonna go to, you got this end right here, screws here, and you got screws here. I'm gonna take this bottom end off, so I'll see you in a second when I get these screws off. Alright, so I'm just taking out the last screw right now, this bottom plate, and what's going to be in here is a diaphragm. Get it off. There's another gasket here also. You want to be real careful not to take the gasket off when you're getting that off. Okay, I want it to stick or rip apart is kind of what I mean. I said that wrong. It's going to want to kind of separate. Sometimes it sticks to this side, sometimes it sticks to that side. So you want to keep this gasket and this piece here the right side, and just leave it there just like it came off. Set it down. Alright, now we have a lifter valve here. This is basically like a float. See, there's going to be, I don't know if you can see here. Let's see if I can zoom in just a bit. Alright, so this here is a screw right here, and this screw is a set screw holding in this bar right here, and this bar allows this little thing that is a jet. You pull your throttle and then zoom, this thing goes down, boom, fuel is allowed to pass through. I think it's clogged up in here, so we're going to be taking apart this tiniest little, there's already debris in here that I can see. I just want to add that there's debris all over the place, and what it looks like is some ethanol, or the gum in the ethanol is kind of built up underneath this. I can see a little bit of residue. I don't know if you can see that on camera, probably not. What we're going to do is go ahead and take out this set screw and get all these little parts that are a pain in the butt you don't want to lose. We're going to get all these out. So maybe I should just go for it, huh? Yeah, I'll just go for it on camera. Let's go. So there's a set screw. There's a spring holding this, obviously, right? So you want to make sure you hold that down while you're removing the set screw. Boom. Our set screw. I'm going to set that right over there. This is going to want to pop out on you. Make sure nothing pops out. Boom. What you got is this little spring with this other little T that is the hinge. it's so scary to mess with. Another thing is, this is the pin to your jet. I don't know if you can see this. I can't see a screen back. So this pin right here goes in that hole, right? Let me try and look right there, right? Anyways, be careful. Try to remember what you're doing, because this is, you know, it can get really ugly real fast. This is the bottom side of your. See, this is the time that I would decide to put brake cleaner in these holes and go pss, 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 just to get them pre-cleaned. Man, I really wish I could get these hoses off. It'd be so much easier to work if I could just hold it in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and take off the other side of the carburetor. Okay. Okay. And you want to make sure that you keep that order of the things that you're taking off in the same order they came off. They're going to have to go back on. So this side we're not really going to mess with. I'm going to go ahead and take out these screws so they don't fall. This will come off. This plunger valve, which it's a system that has large holes in it. There's not a lot of micro holes. There's no you know, pins or what do you call them? Yeah, there's nothing that is microscopically able to collect debris and clog this valve up, this system right here. So we're gonna leave that there. This is our carburetor. This is what we're worried about. Please let me just take this hose off. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna readjust this camera real quick. Hi. Hello? You see me? Alright. So I'm gonna put this right here. See if I can do it like this. So on one side we have these little pinholes. I don't know if you can see all these little holes. It'll focus. All these little holes got a purpose. They got fuel going through some. They got air coming in and going out. And there's all these little places that, you know, debris can get clogged up. And what I really need is brake cleaner. But what I don't have is brake cleaner. So what I'm going to do is use some gasoline. And I'm going to just, it's got some oil in it. I'm going to pour a little bit in here. Alright. And I'm going to let these little holes, being mindful of this gasket, that I don't want it to come up because it's in the perfect spot. It's sealed. You know, this gasket here. I'm going to set it down, this side down, right into this gas. Alright. I'm going to let that soak for a minute. Now already, with my zoom on, yep, dang, that's why. Okay, so already you can see in this, look at this, I dropped it in there. We got debris. I shook it once or twice. We got a lot of stuff already coming out of there. It's where the brake, you know, if you could spray it with brake cleaner, you would just get all these parts off and you wouldn't have them sitting in your bowl, you know, contaminating your rinsing fluid or whatever you call it, gas, you know. Sheesh, so much gunk in this carburetor. That's to, you know, to be expected. Man, well, I'm gonna keep soaking it. What I'm gonna do is take this little hair, this Q-tip, and I'm gonna get into all the little spots and, you know, get as clean as I can. To the eye for now. Keep, you know, just let it soak, get as clean as you can, and rinse, repeat. Alright, so I've been cleaning this carburetor. There is some buildup that I'm not able to just break loose. I'm gonna have to scrape it out. So I want you to bear with me here. If I can get in here, show you with one hand what I'm talking about. This little section here. All right. Okay, now watch as I pull this up. Do you see this little ring? This. Okay. So this little ring, you see that? My thumb. This is ethanol buildup. You see this? Oop, where'd it go? Right there. You see that little piece of something right here? This is gunk. This is ethanol buildup right here in your carburetor. This is what ethanol will do to your small engines. I got it to break loose because I put it in gas, but who knows how much more buildup there is inside these little holes, right? Okay, this was exterior. This was right here, right, in this little dish. This dish connects to this dish. See this little hole? Everything connects. See how small these little passageways are? Anyways, we're gonna try to get this as clean as we can. Sorry about the focusing issues. Trying to do it with one hand. There's more ethanol in every crack and corner, and I'm just gonna keep on trying to get it out. Come on, focus, camera. All right, so you can see kind of right in here, I'm going into this corner and just harder than it looks, guys. Trying to videotape yourself. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff in here, so I'm gonna go to town. I'm getting everything I can out of this carburetor that I can see with my naked eye, and cross my fingers. Wish me luck. Okay, so I've been letting this guy soak. We're gonna take it out of this liquid. I'm gonna set it on somewhere it can dry. I'm gonna take this gas. You can see everything that's in it, right? I'm getting rid of this. Straight to, don't watch, to being disappeared. Okay, so straight to being disappeared. I'm gonna clean this bowl out real quick because there's debris all over it, and I don't want that in my next soaking liquid, you know. Okay, so that's good and wiped out. Pour some more gas in here. Just a little bit more. Back into our solution. I mean, this has to get in there. I would use more gas, but I'm not rich. You know, if I could get it submerged, that'd be great. I'd be doing both sides at one time. It was taking me a little longer, is being conservative, but our gasket's okay. You can see our gasket right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's starting to kind of puff up with that gas, and you know, that's something you got to be careful about. Too much gas will just make this gasket puff up, and it won't fit correctly, and it might tear. So be careful. That's what I meant by be careful about the gaskets. You know, they're finicky. They stick, you know, to one side or both. Sometimes if it's an old model, it'll stick to both sides and you won't be able to actually pull them apart. You'll go to pull it and it'll just tear in two, and that's no good. So anyways, back in this liquid, we got all of our parts here laid out, our pins, our needles. I'm gonna put these parts in the gas also, give everything a good little, you know, rinse and a scrub, and get everything as clean as I can. Okay, I got all these parts washed as best as I could. I don't have air pressure, you know, like an air compressor or any compressed air or brake fluid or anything. So I'm gonna blow out these holes with my mouth, just manually, best I can, without trying to, you know, trying not to spit all over everything. So whew. A little bit of gas in the eye, never hurt. Okay, I'm gonna open this. Set down this phone. Now, one last little thing. There is a little tiny screen. If this will focus, if I can get it to focus, I'll show you. This little screen. You see that screen? Right there. Yeah, you see that little couple pieces of debris that's on there? That screen has to be perfect. You know, we got it pretty darn good. Pretty well cleaned. You can see down in the ports, you can see metal, you don't see gum and things, but you want to make sure even those little particles are out. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Make sure everything is as clean as it can get. Now we zoom out so we can see. Okay, cool. Now we're going to put everything back together the way that we took it apart. You know, we're going to do our best. No focus. Okay, whatever. See you guys in a minute when we got this back together. Okay, so we got it put back together. Boom, boom, boom. There's your throttle. This is low, and this is high. So, yeah, this is full choke is all the way down. Then you got half choke if you go about halfway, and then run is up. Because you're missing a few things here, there's no indication, so I figured I would say that. Okay, well, all we have left is to give it a try, I guess. See if anything that we did had any effect. Might remove a few things here. Okay, we're gonna prime it. Probably about 10 times since there's no gas in the system. There we go, we got fuel pressure. And all it does is circulate it back through, so the more pressure you got, as long as you got good pressure, you're probably okay. Well, that's not good. That's how I got the blister. Sorry about bumping that. Yeah, it does not want to start as of right now. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pop this off. I'm gonna check for spark. Make sure I'm getting spark. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know. A little closer. But if I got this in the air and got this at a certain distance between the spark plug, this should create an arc if the spark plug's working. Which I see an arc. I don't know if you can see it. It's creating an arc. That tells me that there is spark, which is a bummer. Hoping maybe the spark plug was just fouled. Well, oh, the camera's moving, sorry. I don't know. Not sure if I just missed one of the holes where it's clogged, but I'm gonna have to take it apart again and try to use some brake cleaner and power through some of those small holes that I couldn't really reach with this little pin. Here we go. Try to get in there with this pin, and you know, like you could see that residue, trying to get all what I could get out of it. So brake cleaner time.